Welcome back, guys, to another episode. Today you're stuck with me again, which means we're doing some weird shit with beer. This time, we're steeping it in coffee. Let's have some beer and coffee. Alright, so let's get down to this. Imagine you have a vast cellar of bourbon barrel-aged stouts which are being oxidized every time you don't drink them. What are you going to do? Well, my solution to almost everything in life, add some coffee in it. Makes everything better. At least we're going to test that out today. So, we got some coffee, we got some beer. Specifically, I have a 2013 Bourbon County, gifted to me by my dear friend John Holzer from Four Brewers. If you haven't seen Four Brewers videos and podcasts, go check them out because they're great. And John Holzer is just the nicest guy you've ever met, and he fucking loves beer. And of course, he would have a 2013 Bourbon County. And I also haven't opened it in a while, much like him. So what we're gonna do? Gonna add some coffee because Lord knows that beer's probably oxidized by now. It's 2020. That's not fresh anymore. So we're gonna get about 2 tablespoons of fresh ground coffee. We're gonna throw in, this is a travel French press, so if it looks kind of just like a Contigo, that's because it basically is, with a little French press added to it, so that way we can filter out the coffee grounds, because we don't want to drink those. They're gross. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna get 2 tablespoons of your ground coffee. Like, fill it up to the top, you know, you want plenty of coffee. Gonna add that in. And we're gonna do, add 12 ounces of your whatever outdated old bourbon barrel aged beer. Does it have to be bourbon barrel aged? No, but we're assuming that you've kept that beer for far too long, like us, and it's in deep need of some revitalization. So why don't you use something old, you know? Wow. I say that, but it smells actually kind of nice. Is this going to make it less carbonated? Yes. So just be aware. But that's also kind of why I wanted to use a bourbon barrel aged beer to begin with, because a lot of times those beers aren't exactly fizzy. You know, it's not like you're cracking open an aged saison. They're going to have a little bit less carbonation. So we're using this guy. Woo! Looks really freaky inside. Do you want to see? Look at that. That is like some weird kind of adult chocolate milk. Anyways, we're going to now put the top of our French press in then. Push all of the beans down so they're going to get to know each other. And in about 30 minutes, we're going to try the beer, sample it, and see if it's where we like it to be. And if we want more coffee, we'll obviously let it steep for longer. So now we're just going to put this on. If you have a regular French press, it'll be a lot easier of a thing for you. But we have a handy-dandy travel one because we like to travel and have coffee. You don't need to press the plunger down all the way because we're just going to let the coffee grounds swim around in there, get to know the beer, and we're just going to wait. So in the meantime, have yourself another beer.
Alright, so Jacob and I have waited 30 minutes. The coffee-infused beer is ready to be pressed. But while I'm doing that, Jacob, can you tell me why we're drinking Goose Island on Let's Have Some Beer?
Well, 2013, they were still craft. So, still craft beer. And maybe many of you guys have bought some beer from a brewery that has since sold to some giant corporate overlords, and it's sitting in your cellar. What are you gonna do? Well, I mean, it's still good beer. You paid for it, so might as well drink it. And if it's old, throw some coffee in it, right? That's the whole test here.
Let's go ahead and pour it and see how it turns out. Ooh.
Woo! I mean, that looks pretty nice.
Alright, so the beer is poured from the French press. Let's go ahead and give it a whiff, shall we?
Yeah. Oh,
that was terrible.
Ooh.
Wow.
Almost smells like Dark Star.
Yeah. So the first thing I will tell you is the coffee presence is definitely there. Wow. The nostrils are filled. So this strategy of letting it sit for 30 minutes before we press it, solid idea. I mean, we are pressing it into cold beer, so we got to give it time to absorb. Now, I do still get some like barrel-aged quality off of a 2013 beer, which is tripping me out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as much as you might have some opinions about their corporate overlords, they do know how to make beer. You know. I will say my glass does have some floaties. So
I do too.
Might have to fill, you know, depending on how
much it is.
Picky you are and how big the chunks are, you might want to filter it again. That's totally up to you guys.
This is also a super cheap travel French press, so...
Yeah, so bear that in mind, whatever you're using to filter it out, you know. But I'm going to drink it.
Alright, let's do it.
Yep. Ooh.
Whoa. Damn, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for like,
Wow, what the
like oxidation notes, because, you know, that's the whole thing. This is a pretty old beer.
It's definitely, I mean, there's like almost no carbonation on it. Actually, I don't even think there is any carbonation on it. But
Yeah, it's definitely on the flatter side. I'm not too upset about that.
no, me either. With this kind of beer,
There's a lot of, wow, that bourbon.
Yeah, the bourbon is still coming through so well, guys. I can't explain to you. And the cool thing is it's almost like the coffee has revitalized it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
know,
that was our goal.
Yeah, the coffee is you know, amping up that flavor and aroma profile, and I think what that allows that bourbon character to do is stand out again. I mean, we should have tried it without any coffee and then with coffee. Hindsight 2020.
Yeah,
but
I know. I kind of like didn't want to do that myself just because I knew it was going to be kind of... I mean, we would definitely get some good bourbon notes just from smelling it. That definitely got that, but I'm sure there was going to be the aftertaste was just going to be there, and I didn't want to taste it, not going to lie. But we didn't ruin it. And I think that's what a lot of people are worried about is you have a really good beer and you're going to add coffee and then, well, right off the bat, the carbonation went away, so that's a problem. But we didn't ruin it. So for me, taking an old beer is like a good, safe bet.
Yeah.
You're adding some flavor versus you already know, you know, it's 2013, a stout. It's not a sour, you know?
Yeah.
Sour probably would have been fine. Stout, you're really chancing things.
Definitely. But it came out really well. I mean, I'm talking if you walked into a brewery and you asked them for a pour of like their favorite beer and they poured this in there and you drank it, I think you would believe them. Like, I don't know what else to say. Is it the most exquisite thing I've ever tasted? No, but for a beer that's 7 years old and all we did is add a couple tablespoons of ground coffee to it, it's really good.
Yeah. I'm a little worried that I'm going to get like a weird caffeine buzz as well as like, you know.
Oh, tonight's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah. That's my only caveat there. All right, and before we go, I did want to give a shout out to the actual coffee roaster that we used. It was going to be Jetty Coffee Roasters, which is located in Anaheim. If you would go to the Anaheim Packing District, they're going to be roasting at, or they'll at least be selling their beans at Crepe Coop, which is in the Anaheim Packing District. And they were kind enough to give us some fresh beans to use. This is actually a Kenyan Sumatra blend of coffee called Breakwater. So if you go to Jetty Coffee Roasters and want to try some Breakwater coffee, it's pretty delicious.
I mean, which, by the way, when we ground the coffee beans down and took a whiff of just like the fresh ground coffee, it smelled divine. Like, it smelled really good. I would love to make morning coffee with this stuff.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have some extra beans, so it's probably exactly what we're going to do.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you so much, Jetty Coffee Roasters. you definitely saved this beer. So yeah, I can't wait to work more with those beans and see what else we can play around with and do. Maybe you'll even do a little homebrew with it. Yeah. Who knows? Alright.
One of the beautiful things of this episode, I hope you guys enjoyed it, but this episode should be something that tells you that even if you had that beer that's been sitting in the cellar a little too long, if it's the right style, you could add just a little something to it and really revitalize it. I mean, I'm gonna finish this and kind of wish that there was more in it. So that's a really good sign. So I would actually implore you guys, like, check your cellar. See if you got any really old beers that you just don't know when you're ever gonna have them again, and just experiment. Try it out. Get good coffee though.
Yes.
Don't go buying the Folgers in a tin. That's blasphemy.
I don't know about
good craft beer deserves good craft coffee.
Yeah.
Remember that. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this episode, please give us a thumbs up, share with your friends, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below if you have any ideas of future episodes where we can kind of do this fun experimentation kind of stuff, and tell us what your thoughts are about this episode. We're just going to sit here and enjoy the rest of this beer. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Let's Have Some Beer. Cheers. Today we are doing a grain to glass homebrew tutorial. Mia, what are we making today?
We're making a rice lager, am I correct?
That is correct.